everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kay, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at my beauty empties from April. So if you're not sure what an empties video is, then basically it's where people like myself use up beauty products, keep hold of the rubbish, and then sit on camera and tell everyone what they think about them. I personally love these style of videos. I love to watch them, I love to film them, and I just think that when you've used a product up in its entirety, you get a better feel for how you really feel about it. It's just a little bit more in-depth knowledge about the product than a first impression. So without any further ado, let's get into it. I am just going to pull these out as they come, no particular order, except for the products that I finished that are in my project pans. So if you already watched my project pan, you would prefer to see the empties within that video, then feel free to skip ahead. I'll leave a timestamp down below. But other than that, we're just going to dive straight in and get on with it. So as I said, project pan items first, and the first thing I've got to show you is my Illamasqua Hydra Veil Primer. I had two of these in my project pan. I have actually finished both of them. I can't remember whether I mentioned one of these in last month's video, but just in case I didn't, I finished one in March and then I finished another one in April. So that was the two that were in my project pan. I really like this primer. It is really hydrating, for me at least. It's like a jelly type formula, which looks a bit weird, gotta be honest, but it actually felt really nice and cooling on the skin. It had quite a nice fragrance to it, quite light, quite fresh. Reminded me a little bit of cucumber, to be honest. But yeah, it was just a really nice primer, and I would actually consider repurchasing this in a full size. So that's that. Next is something that isn't really empty. I'm just decluttering it, again from my project pan, and this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer. I just didn't really get on with this. The texture of it was a bit liquidy and runny. The packaging on it was terrible for that kind of product. You've only got to sort of you haven't even got to squeeze it, to be totally honest, and product will just come out. And because of how light this product is on my skin, I just found it really difficult to blend out to a point where it looked natural. For me, for an eye primer, I just want a base that I can put my eyeshadows onto to make them pop, which I know a light base will do that, but I also want it to be more like my skin colour, so that it just sort of, you know, blends in nicely. And I was finding I was having to put a bit of extra effort in to get it to sort of not have a harsh line and blend in. So yeah, just wasn't really a fan of this product at all, and I know I'm not going to reach for it. I've got other eye primers in my collection that I want to try, so the chances of me reaching for this anytime soon pretty much zero, so there's no point me keeping this. So I am going to declutter it. I'm going to see if anybody I know wants it, so that's that. And then the last things were perfume samples. So we've got two here. We've got the Viktor & Rolf Flower Bomb Nectar and the Oscar de la Renta Extraordinary Petal. So out of the two of these, by far the winner was the Viktor & Rolf. I do enjoy the original Flower Bomb perfume. It's definitely one of my favourite fragrances. I don't actually own it, but I have tried it a few times, and it's just, I love it, absolutely love it. So I thought I'd try the Flower Bomb Nectar in the sample. I think I had this probably from a Feel Unique sample service thing, I'm not sure. It could have come in a goodie bag or something as well, so who knows at this point. I've got quite a lot of samples going on. It's getting a bit hard to keep track of where everything came from, which is probably bad. But yeah, this was okay. It wasn't as nice as the original Flower Bomb for me. It was just a little bit too sweet for me, so I didn't enjoy it as much. It was still wearable though, as you can see. I did wear it. And then the other one, the Oscar de la Renta Extraordinary Patel, no, I did use it, but it was more in my quest to find out why I didn't like it than because it was wearable. I've since discovered that anything that has kind of a lily kind of scent to it, like a strong white flower scent, I'm not fond of. So using this kind of helped me to discover that, because I was able to sort of look at what was in it and compare it to another perfume that I've bought that this actually reminded me of, which was the Michael Kors White. I bought that blind a while back and really didn't like it. Didn't really know why, I just knew that there was something in it I didn't like, and this really reminded me of that. So I did a little bit of investigating and decided that no, I don't like it, and it was because it smells quite strongly of white flowers. So yeah, definitely not going to repurchase this. Not going to repurchase the Viktor and Rolf either, but at least I'm a little bit closer to finding out what I don't like in a perfume. And then I think we're on to non-project pan stuff now, so I'm just going to dive in and just talk about it as it comes out of this little tub. So the first thing I'm pulling out is a hand cream. So this is from Neal's Yard Remedies. This is the Wild Rose hand cream. I've had this for a while, and again, I'm not sure what I had this in. It might have been a subscription box, it might have been a goodie bag. I'm really not sure at this point. All I know is that I've had it a while. It is really, really heavily scented of rose, which I don't mind, but yeah, it was potent. In terms of hand cream, it was actually okay. I didn't mind it. It wasn't too thick and greasy, and it was quite hydrating. Not my favourite, but I really struggle with hand creams anyway. Nothing seems to be super effective on me, so I just use them and hope for the best, to be honest. But this didn't stand out as anything amazing, but it was nice to use. And if you do love a strong rose scent, then by all means go for it, because that is what you're going to get with this. So another quite strongly scented product here, and this is the This Works Deep Sleep Body Cocoon. So I did have another one of these, which I know I talked about in a previous Empties video. I'm not sure whether it was last month or the month before, but I know I've definitely had one of these before in the same size. Exactly the same as I said then. The scent of this is just not for me. It's lavender. Obviously it's to help you try and relax, but strong lavender scents for me actually have the opposite effect, because that's all I can focus on, and I don't want that. So there you go. But in terms of moisturisation, I actually really do like this. I used it mainly on the lower half of my body to try and keep it as far away from my nose as possible, especially as at one point I was using the pillow spray at the same time. Bad idea, but you know, I was just trying to get things used up. I did actually stop using the spray for a while, so I need to go back to that actually. That's just reminded me of that. But yeah, the moisturisation on this was really, really nice. I really do enjoy how effective it is with that, but it's just the scent for me. So again, not something that I would repurchase. But if I got it in a box, I'd use it, but again, just mainly on the lower half of my body. Something that I do actually really enjoy the fragrance of, and have repurchased a few times now, is the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Bum Bum Cream. This is just a small size. This is 50ml, I think. Yeah, just a 50ml little size. I think I had this in like a little travel kit a while back, probably last year, and I finally got around to finishing it up. This is something that I absolutely adore. Just the fragrance of this is just like heaven in a tub for me. It's just, I could sit and do that all day, to be honest. So I'm going to put the lid back on and stop. But yeah, moisturisation again, fabulous. It's quite thick and creamy, does make my skin feel really hydrated. So yeah, this as I said, this has been a repurchase for me, and I will probably repurchase again in future. I do have a 75ml tub of this, which I received in one of my Try Beauty boxes recently, so I'm not going to repurchase right at the moment. And because it's so expensive and because I do love it so much, I do tend to use this sort of sparingly, like when I really want that sort of hit of fabulous scent, then I will reach for this then, but otherwise I try and use other things because I don't want to use it up. It is very expensive to repurchase. But yeah, this one's done. Another moisturiser that I finished was this. So this is from Skin and it's the Rose and Lemon Enriched Body Cream. And I kind of liked this. The fragrance again was quite strong. It was rose and lemon, and for me you do get both of them. You can definitely smell the citrus, that definitely comes through, but there is a sort of a balance of both the fragrances going on there. In terms of a moisturiser, it was quite thick and creamy. I tended to use this as more of a before I went to bed kind of thing, partly because of how strong the scent was. I didn't want to sort of have this on during the day because I do wear other fragrance products as well. I was a bit worried about it clashing, but yeah, this it was quite nice as a moisturiser. It was just very, very strong. I don't think I'd repurchase just because I've got a lot of other moisturisers on the go already and it's just not my favourite fragrance, so that's that one. Back to something that I did enjoy the fragrance of, and that was this from Molten Brown. So this was the Bath and Shower Gel in the Coastal Cypress and Sea Fennel fragrance. Really, really enjoyed this. I had a sample of this a while ago and just fell in love with the fragrance. Was actually going to buy the Rhubarb and Rose fragrance of this in the full size and saw this one, remembered how much I liked it and bought this one instead. I do still like the fragrance, but I don't like it as much as I like the Rhubarb and Rose. So I would repurchase this again, but I think I'd want it as well as other fragrances. The other thing with this as well is that these are quite expensive. I think it was like £22 for this little bottle. So this is definitely more of a treat to myself, to be used sparingly throughout the month rather than as a regular bath and shower gel. But yeah, it was still really nice. It does smell very much of the sea, which I do enjoy. But yeah, sort of out of the two fragrances, I definitely prefer the Rhubarb and Rose to this one. But yeah, it's nice, I like it, and I will probably repurchase again at some point. So next is this little sample packet from Collstar, and this was the anti-water Talasso scrub. So it was exfoliating salts and cane sugar with spices and essential oils. This was so nice. Oh my gosh, it smelled herbally and spicy. With the salt and the sugar, it was really quite a scrubby scrub too, which I really, really enjoy. It was actually quite warming as well. As I was rubbing it onto my skin, I could feel it sort of heating up, so that was really nice as well. It was like a proper like spa type treatment thing, so I really enjoyed that, and it made my skin feel so soft afterwards as well. And overall, because it was so exfoliating but also quite moisturising, my skin just loved it. And I managed to get a couple of uses out of this little packet, but I was actually really sad when it had gone, so I think I might look at getting a full size one of these, because yeah, this is probably one of the best body scrubs I've found for me. So yeah, it's definitely on my radar. Next I've got two toners from Ren. So these are the Ready Steady Glow Daily AHA Tonics. I've got two of them because I just happen to have two in my collection. I've clearly had them from boxes and goodie bags, and they were just sort of mounting up, so I decided to use them up. I'd finished the Pixie Glow Tonic, which is my favourite toner, and this is a similar kind of product. So I decided to get some use out of these before I went back to the Pixie, which I don't know if you can see behind me. I have now done. It was alright. I didn't notice any major differences from the Pixie Glow Tonic. It sort of did the same job really. Didn't make my skin any worse, didn't make it any better. So I don't think I would repurchase these. I haven't actually looked at the price, but I suspect that a full-size version of this would be more expensive than the Pixie. So for now I think I'll stick to the Pixie, just because I know I enjoy it and it's at a price that I'm comfortable with paying. But yeah, these were good, these were nice, and if I was to get them into my collection again, I'd use them up. I'd be happy enough to use them up. Next we've got something that I've talked about a few times now. I've used a few, I've repurchased a few, and that is the Barrym lip scrub. So this one is in the peppermint flavour. I've said before, I know I'm going to say again, I love these scrubs. They're affordable. I think it's about £4 or £5 for a tub. Sugary, oily, moisturising, exfoliating. My lips love them. I love them. I will continue to buy more of them. This one is finished. I do have another one. I think I've got a watermelon one. I haven't opened it yet because I'm currently trying to work my way through an Avant one that I had in a subscription box. Spoiler alert, not a fan. We'll definitely be going back to the Barrym afterwards. But yeah, for now this one is finished. Next we've got a sample of a serum from Yves Saint Laurent. So this is the Pure Shot Night Reboot Serum. This was quite nice. I did like the texture of it. It wasn't too oily or greasy. It was just quite a nice texture. It did sink into the skin really well. It was the bi-phase formula, so you sort of had the product at the bottom and then there was like an oily layer on top, so you did have to give it a bit of a shake before you used it. But as I said, in spite of that oil in there, it didn't feel greasy on my skin at all. I enjoyed using it. Would I repurchase it? Probably not. I've got a ton of serums in my collection. I really don't need any more at this point. This was nice to try, but I can't see myself wanting to splash out on an Yves Saint Laurent serum anytime soon. So it was nice, but not that nice. Next we've got a little mini version of the Colorwell Dream Coat Spray. This is kind of cheating. I haven't really used this up, but what I did do was empty this into the bigger, oh, here it is, into the bigger bottle. I just find the bigger bottles just easier to handle and spray. It's sort of the sprayer on it's just a bit more effective than in the mini version. So I was getting a little bit low on the full size version and just emptied this one into there to make life easier for myself. I've said before, again, probably going to say again, I do really enjoy this product. It does work really well with my hair, makes it look more glossy, shiny, a little bit more manageable in terms of the coarse hairs that like to look a bit wiry and crazy. My flyaways just are a bit more manageable. So overall I really love this product and I will continue to buy it as long as it works for me. Next we've got a makeup product, and this is the Makeup Forever Excessive Lash Mascara. This was just a little sample that, again, I think I've received in a goodie bag of some kind. Pretty sure it was, actually. I'm pretty sure this came in a Cult Beauty goodie bag. And it was okay. I went back and forth on this about whether I liked it or not. When I first tried it, I didn't really like it that much. The more I used it, the more I thought, actually, maybe it's okay. And by the time I'd finished it, I realised it's not a bad mascara, it's just not the kind of mascara that I like to wear. My favourite mascaras have typically been the Climax from NARS, the Caution Extreme Lash from Hourglass, and the Unlocked Instant Extensions mascara, which is the newer one from Hourglass. So they're quite really lengthening or volumising. The Climax is more volumising, the other two are more lengthening, and this one was just, it did lengthen, but not as much as I would have liked. It didn't give me quite the effect that I was going for, but it was there. It's just not enough for me. So I did use this. It did get to the point where I was struggling to get product out. It was drying up a little bit, so it is done, but I wouldn't repurchase just because it's not the kind of thing that I'm looking for. Next we've got a body scrub, another body scrub should I say. So this is the coffee scrub from Molten. So I had this as part of a subscription box last year. I did talk about this in my Did I Use It video that I did last month. This was part of one of my boxes from April 2020. And part of what I'm doing with that video is highlighting what I received and trying to use up those products so that they don't just sit there for another year unused. So I did actually get around to using this. It was nice. It was a coffee scrub. It did what it was supposed to do. It exfoliated, made my skin feel quite soft afterwards. I didn't enjoy it as much as the Collstar scrub I mentioned earlier on, but obviously it's two different types of products really. Still scrubs, but they obviously aim to do different things. So yeah, so I liked it. I do actually have another one of these in this size that I think I've had again from another subscription box. I'm noticing a trend here, so I will use that one up, but I don't think I would go and purchase a full-size version of one of these, because while it was nice, I don't think it was anything that sort of really stood out to me, so I wouldn't necessarily go and repurchase this particular one. But again, if I was to have it in another box, I would use it again. And now we're on to masks. So we've got a few little packets here, and I will start with this one actually, because this was another one that was highlighted in that Did I Use It video. This was another one that I received in April 2020 in a subscription box, and I just needed to get around to using it, which as you can see I have now done. So this little section here that's missing actually contained an ampoule of oil, camellia oil if I remember right. Yes, camellia oil. So you sort of applied the oil to your face first, opened up the sheet mask, which was in this bottom little bit here, put the sheet mask on, left it for 15 minutes, patted in the serum that was from the mask, and away you go. It was nice, but I didn't really see the benefits to having that oil first. I didn't really notice anything different to just using a sheet mask with a serum, so I don't think I would go out of my way to repurchase something like this. But again, if I was to have another one, I would use it. It was nice enough to use. My skin did feel quite soft afterwards, but whether that was from the oil or the serum or the mixture of the two, I couldn't tell you. All I know is I get the same effect from normal sheet masks. So that's that one. Next we've got this, which is the Firm Up mask from Simply When. This was a brand I hadn't really heard of before, and I actually got this from Feel Unique, from one of the sample services that they do, but I can't remember which one. It was either the beauty kit or the pick and mix samples. I really can't remember which, but I remember seeing this and thinking, a sheet mask, I'm going to try that. So this was an ultra soft cotton linter Bemelese sheet mask soaked in light refreshing essence formulated with adenosine, collagen, mango and green tea extracts to provide antioxidants and help firm up the skin. Again, it was moisturising, it felt quite refreshing. As for whether it firmed up the skin, I didn't really notice that, but I think anything that says it can firm up your skin in just one use is pretty much lying to you, but that's just my opinion. So yeah, I did try it. I did quite enjoy using it as a sheet mask. You know, I tend to use these things as a relaxation thing, a bit of me time, so it did its job for that. Would I purchase one of these? Probably not. I didn't really notice anything super different about this to other face masks that I've tried. But if I saw it on Feel Unique, again, I would probably pick up another one just because it's a cheap way of getting a sheet mask. If I was to receive one in a box or a goodie bag, I'd happily use it again. But yeah, that's that one. Then we've got these eye masks from Sistine. And I had these for quite a long time. I had 2 of them in my very first Try Beauty box, and for some reason I just never got around to using the second one. I felt the need for eye masks during April. I had a day where I was particularly tired, my eyes just felt really heavy, and I just really wanted a bit of a pick-me-up. So I went through my stash, realised I still got these, and decided to use them. Again, cooling, refreshing, did the job that I needed it to do in the moment. They are actually in this sort of angel shape, which is quite cool. So I was walking around the house for 20 minutes one morning. My son thought that was highly amusing that I'd got these angel shapes under my eyes. But then again, he is 4. He finds most things amusing. But yeah, they're nice, they're okay, they're eye patches. They did what I needed them to do, as I said. I don't think I would necessarily go out and repurchase them. Although they were nice, there are other things that I've tried that I like better, like the OK ginseng eye patches. Those just feel really cooling and refreshing. I just really enjoy those, and I think they're probably cheaper than these as well, although I'm not sure what these cost. I'd have to have a look. If I find out, I'll put it on the screen for you. But yeah, so they were okay, but I wouldn't go out and rebuy them. And then last but not least, we've got these. So this was the exfoliating watermelon and citrus foot peel from OK, as it happens. I have actually tried these before in the watermelon and citrus. I have tried some of the other foot peels as well from OK. I know I've tried the fruit one. Really effective. They do work really well on my feet. Does what it's supposed to do, which if you're not into feet, you're not into that kind of thing, is pretty gross, I know. But I really enjoy them. The last time I tried this one, the watermelon and citrus one, it made my feet feel really tingly, to the point where it wasn't uncomfortable, but it was making me feel uncomfortable, like, was this supposed to be happening? Because I'd never experienced that with any other foot peels that I'd tried. But I did pick these up and I did try them again just to see if it was a one-off, to see whether that was, you know, going to happen, whether it would be any better or worse than the last time. This time round, no tingling whatsoever. So I've got no clue what happened the last time I tried these, but this time, no tingling. Foot peel effect worked really well. I would happily purchase another one. And that brings us to the end of my April empties. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of the products that I've tried. Is there anything in here that you've tried that you've liked or disliked? Let me know what you guys have finished up in April. What have you been loving? Is there anything you've not been loving so much? As I said, just let me know in the comments down below. I really do love to hear other people's thoughts and opinions. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that like button for me. It really does help me out and lets me know that you're enjoying my content. If you're not already subscribed to my channel but you think you'd like to catch up with me more often, then I'd love it if you could hit that subscribe button. It's totally free and would help you to find me more easily in future. And with all of that being said, I really hope everyone's well and staying safe, and I will see you all again in another video very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.